Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. During the latest edition of WWE SmackDown, Roman Reigns single-handedly took down the New Look Bloodline. Taking to social media, Paul Heyman sent a message to Reigns and Solo Sikoa after their brawl. During the closing moments of the SummerSlam 2024 Premium Live event, the original Tribal Chief returned to the Stamford-based promotion and took down Sikoa. His interference allowed Cody Rhodes to retain his undisputed WWE Championship. Heyman took to his Instagram stories to send a message to Roman and Solo after their brawl on the latest episode of the Blue Brand. The former undisputed WWE Universal Champion attacked Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Tongaloa, laying down the Tongans while the self-proclaimed Tribal Chief managed to escape somehow. And the Superman punch is the kryptonite. The falsehood of the Tribal Chief is a fraud, Paul Heyman wrote, translated from Samoan to English via Google. Fans will be patiently waiting to see the Wiseman return to WWE programming soon. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes could cross paths once again in WWE, says Sam Roberts while speaking on his Not Sam Wrestling podcast. WWE analyst Sam Roberts mentioned that Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns could cross paths for a trilogy match between them. Roberts stated that Rhodes could face Reigns in their third match after defeating Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. After going through Kevin Owens as a villain, after going through Randy Orton as a villain, maybe that is when he's looking face-to-face with Roman Reigns. Because Roman Reigns still doesn't think that Cody is ready to fight him, Sam Roberts said. Rhodes and Reigns have faced each other twice in singles competition since the American Nightmares returned to the company. At WrestleMania 39, Roman successfully defended the undisputed WWE Universal Championship before losing it to Cody at WrestleMania XL. As of now, Rhodes is focused on defending his undisputed WWE Championship against Kevin Owens at Bash in Berlin 2024. Meanwhile, the original Tribal Chief could face Solo Sikoa in a singles match in the future. Reigns has not officially stepped foot for a match in the squared circle since losing the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania XL. There have also been talks of him reuniting the original version of the Bloodline in his feud with Sikoa and his version of the group. The crowd had barely settled from the chaos that had erupted on the latest episode of WWE SmackDown. The tension in the arena was palpable, a lingering effect of the explosive confrontation between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. The undisputed WWE Universal Champion and his enforcer had been at each other's throats in a way no one had ever anticipated. The WWE Universe was left in stunned silence, unsure of what this meant for the future of the Bloodline. In the midst of the silence, a familiar face appeared on the screen. The Titantron flickered to life, revealing none other than Paul Heyman. The wise man, as he had come to be known, stood alone in a dimly lit room. His expression was a mixture of concern, contemplation, and a touch of the usual smugness that only Heyman could pull off. He adjusted his tie, exhaling deeply before speaking directly into the camera. Roman, Solo, Heyman began, his voice calm yet heavy with the weight of the situation. You both know me better than anyone in this business. You know that I am not a man who speaks lightly, nor do I ever utter words without a purpose. Tonight, I come to you not just as your wise man, but as a man who has been a part of your journey every step of the way. He paused, letting the gravity of his words sink in. Roman, the Tribal Chief, the head of the table. You have dominated this industry in a way that no one else could even dream of. You have redefined what it means to be a champion, a leader, and a figure of power. Your reign has been legendary, unmatched, and dare I say, unstoppable. Heyman turned his attention to the other figure in his message, his eyes narrowing slightly. Solo Sikoa. The silent assassin. The enforcer of the Bloodline. You have stood by Roman's side, a force of nature that few have dared to challenge. Your loyalty, your strength, your silence, it has been your greatest weapon, and it has served the Bloodline well. The wise man's tone shifted, a hint of urgency creeping in. But tonight, something happened that I never thought I would see. Roman, Solo, you two, clashed. And not just in the ring, but in a way that threatened to tear apart everything we have built. Everything you have built. Heyman stepped closer to the camera, his voice dropping to a near whisper. Roman, you know better than anyone that power can be a double-edged sword. It can unite, but it can also divide. And Solo, I know you understand that loyalty is not just about following orders, it's about knowing when to stand your ground and when to protect what matters most. There was a pause, the silence almost deafening as Heyman's words hung in the air. The bloodline is not just a faction, not just a group of individuals. It is a legacy. A dynasty that spans generations. And tonight, that legacy was put in jeopardy. By the very people who should be protecting it. Heyman took a deep breath, his expression softening just slightly. Roman, Solo, I have always been the one to advise, to guide, to manipulate situations to our advantage. But this is different. This is personal. And if we are to survive, if the bloodline is to continue its dominance, then we need to address this head-on. Not as enemies, not as competitors, but as family. He leaned back, his eyes closing for a moment as if gathering his thoughts. When he opened them again, they were filled with determination. I am calling on both of you to remember what brought us together in the first place. Remember the bond that forged the bloodline into the unstoppable force it has become. Remember why we fight, why we dominate, why we rule. Heyman's voice grew stronger, more commanding. Roman, Solo, this is not the end. It cannot be the end. We have faced challenges before, but none like this. And the only way to overcome it is to stand together. Not as a divided force, but as a united family. The wise man's expression became one of resolve, his voice firm and unwavering. Roman, you are the tribal chief. Solo, you are the enforcer. Together, you are the bloodline. And together, you will continue to dominate this industry. But only if you choose to stand as one. He took a step back, allowing his words to settle in. This is not just a message, Roman, Solo. This is a warning. The WWE Universe is watching, the locker room is watching, and most importantly, your family is watching. Do not let this be the moment that everything crumbles. Let it be the moment that the bloodline rises stronger than ever before. Heyman adjusted his tie one final time, his expression returning to the calculated calm that he was known for. I will be waiting for your response. But know this, whatever decision you make, it will determine the future of the bloodline. Choose wisely, my tribal chief. Choose wisely, my enforcer. With that, the screen went black, leaving the WWE Universe to ponder the implications of Heyman's words. The silence in the arena was deafening as fans processed the gravity of the situation. The message had been sent, and now all eyes were on Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. The future of the bloodline hung in the balance, and the next move would be critical. Would Roman and Solo heed the wise man's advice? Or would this be the beginning of the end for one of the most dominant factions in WWE history? Only time would tell, but one thing was certain, the road ahead would not be easy, and the fate of the bloodline was far from sealed.